Welcome to the 50th Jubilee episode of eAcademy. The subject is an introduction to the GX soft program. The program is intended for configuring the GSM-X and gprs communication modules. Today we will use a PC computer with GX Soft software installed. The program can be downloaded free of charge from our website. A GSM-X universal communication module with the APS612 power supply connected. A cable for connecting the module and the computer, and a nano SIM card. We will discuss the settings which are configured in a similar way in both the GSM-X and gprs modules. For the GSM-X module, we will use the factory default settings, which will be switched on for the first time. Turn the power on. Connect the cable to the module and to the computer, and then launch the GX soft program. The first step is to select one of the modules. In this case, it will be GSM-X. The project window will open. First, establish connection with the module. To do this, click on the Connect icon on the top menu bar. A window opens prompting you to establish connection. Click Yes. The menu bar shows the active connection icon, the module name, and the firmware version number. You can also find this data at the bottom of the currently open project tab. In addition, here you can see the IMEI number of the embedded GSM telephone. For more detailed information about the module connected to the computer, go to the Data tab. As you can see, here it is also possible to check the software version of the telephone system just mentioned. If a GSM-X ETH Ethernet module were to be attached to the GSM-X module, the GSM-X ETH data, software version and MAC address would be seen in the tab. Slightly lower, a button is located, which you can use to restore the module to its factory default settings if necessary. Now let's go back to the top menu bar. Here you can see the trouble icon. Click on it to display a list of problems. The module informs you that it is currently using factory settings and needs to be configured. Information about a SIM1 card missing is also displayed. Hide the list. To the right of the trouble icon, the time and date of the module clock are displayed. Clicking on the watch symbol will send the time settings from the computer to the module. For now, however, we will not use this option. Instead, we will go to the Hardware tab and select Mainboard. The GSM-X and gprs modules offer the option of automatically synchronizing the clock with the selected time server or with the time of the GSM network operator. By default, the second option is selected. An important note, currently many new SIM cards do not have an active PIN lock. However, to avoid problems, it is advisable to enter the PIN code assigned to the card in the program at once. Remember to do it before the card is placed in the module slot. In case the pre-programmed code is incorrect, the module will report a trouble and wait for the correct PIN to be entered. 3 attempts to restart the module with the wrong code will block the SIM card. In order to unblock the card, you must insert it into a mobile phone and enter the PUK code. To program the PIN code, go to the GSM tab. In our case, that is, when working with the GSM-X module, you have available configuration of settings of 2 SIM cards. By default, only the card designated as SIM1 is active. The GSM-X module is equipped with 2 SIM card slots. However, gprs has only 1 such slot, which means in this case configuration of only 1 card will be available. Enter the PIN code of the appropriate field. Now you can send data to the module. Insert the nano SIM card into the SIM1 slot on the device board. Now observe the range indicator. After a moment, you will see that the card has logged into the network. Additionally, you can observe the module's clock has been synchronized with the GSM network time. Depending on the situation, it can take from a few seconds to as long as several minutes. Okay, now we'll start configuring the Internet GPRS connection settings. Please note that the configuration data for the GPRS communication will vary depending on the operator. In one of the previous episodes, we prepared a table containing a set of configuration data for several operators active in Poland. If you do not know the address of the chosen operator's DNS server, you can use the address provided by Google. By the way, these addresses are set by default in the GXSoft program. Next, select the GPRS enabled option so as to make data transfer over GPRS available. Additionally, enter the number of your operator's SMS center. Although some mobile networks store this number in the SIM card memory, it is certainly a good idea to fill in that field in the program. Then open the prepaid support list and enter the USSD code to check the balance of your account. Also, specify the minimum balance on the SIM card account and how often the module is to automatically check the available balance. If the amount of funds available on the prepaid card's account falls below a certain limit, the device will report a trouble. In addition, if the module automatically checks the amount of funds and it turns out it is too low, information on the current account balance can be sent as an SMS message to the user's phone numbers stored in the module, if such an option has been programmed. Now open the GSM Operators menu. Here there is a field designated as MCC MNC code. In it, you can enter the operator's code of the GSM network to which the SIM card placed in the module is to log in. In previous episodes, we explained when such functionality may be useful. Well, by entering the appropriate MCC MNC code in the program, you can get your device to connect to the network whose coverage is the best in the given premises. This functionality can also be used where unnecessary switching to the coverage of a foreign network is possible, which may take place in border areas. Let's check now how it works in practice. Currently, the module connects to the P4 network. Let's enter the code of another network, for instance, T-Mobile. In the program, next to the MCC MNC code field, the auto option is selected by default. If it is enabled and the module cannot log into the GSM network indicated by you, it will connect to the available network of another operator. However, if this option is disabled, the module will only log into the network indicated by the pre-programmed code. At the very bottom of the open window, you can see the Get GSM Operators List button. You can use it to check which networks are available at the location where your module is installed. Click the button and wait a few moments. The list of networks has been populated. Click on the currently selected operator to display a window with the relevant information. If you click on the name of the operator your SIM card does not work with, an appropriate message will also be displayed. Selecting any operator option will clear the MCC MNC code field. However, if you click on the name of the operator to which the card can connect, the operator's code will be entered automatically. Send data to the module. As you can see, connection to the previously selected network has been terminated. Wait a minute until the SIM card logs into the network whose number has been programmed. Okay, everything has worked out as we expected. That's all for today's episode. We would like to remind you that you can configure the GSM telephone settings in both modules using the GX software program in a very similar way. Thank you for your attention. We invite you to watch the next episodes of eAcademy. See you soon.